Welcome into this Wednesday edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Palmer, Neal McCready, Clark Ford studio this afternoon. It's 1:09 right now as we hit the record button. Be here with you for a little while. Probably some Ole Miss topics, some NCAA topics. I don't know. We'll get to what we get to today on the show. Brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford. You can take advantage of the Speed Pass Plus app. You download it, you use it, you pay right there on the app. You don't have to worry about paying at the pump. Get on with your day as quickly as possible. They're also, I think, the only place in town giving you the option to use the plastic sleeves. You don't have to touch the pump directly. Use the sleeves to fill up there at the Oxford Exxon. Again, all Blue Sky locations throughout Mississippi. Lunch specials $5.69, 2 sides bread, 32-ounce drink there with that. So take advantage, and we're coming to you from the Clark Ford studio.
We are. Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Call that number. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. Right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote, and the rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around, or you can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. You will you'll love the service. You'll love the product. Corey wants to be your car guy. He wants to be your truck guy. He'll prove it to you when you make the call. 662-257-1900. Guest, join us on the Rafters Music and Food Hotline. Rafters is on the square in Oxford. They also have Rafters on the water out at the Sardis Marina, and now they've opened Rafters in New Albany. So you can check it out there as well as the Rafters family grows. Going to get more information to you about Rafters and what is or isn't allowed here in our community with football and things of that nature. But it is a place where you can go in. You have to sit down because the virus can't find you sitting down. If you stand up, the virus attacks you like a torpedo. So you must sit down. Our state leaders are looking out for your best interest, keeping you seated in establishments. When you walk in, for the love of God, mask up. When you sit down, take your mask off and stay seated. And you can enjoy some of the stuff that's on the televisions there at Rafters. College football, the NFL starts tomorrow. College football Saturday, the NFL on Sunday. But just stay seated. Stay seated at Rafters on the square and Rafters in New Albany.
Was that all 100% in the ad copy? That was his
Yes,
word for word verbatim there. That was
just reading the ad copy.
Michael Johnson in our live stream, our truck driver from a couple weeks ago, says that he was on vacation last week, didn't call in, but plenty more opportunities as it goes on to hear from you. So we can do that.
I'd like to. That was fun. I'd like to. I could quiz Michael.
Neal had
about his job
questions for hours. He was going.
I could spend hours talking about. So how does that work?
So Gulf Coaster wants your black bean and corn salad recipe. Probably can do that. We can get that supplied to rebelgrove.com.
I can make that happen. It's good. One of my favorite things.
As much as we try to do that kind of stuff, we could probably do a cookbook. Honestly, probably could do compile some recipes.
Just never know where it's all.
I mean, we've got those 3 seasons of Kelly giving us one every week from back in the day.
Yeah, I get one from Burton every week.
Yeah, we got that. I mean, we got a lot of stuff. It's. I mean, have actual shelves and shit around here. I mean, it's crazy. It's not just. It's not just Neal putting jalapeno on everything he eats. So it's
just the Little Potato Log podcast that could.
We'll get to that in a month or so too. Got plans, got ideas, got a lot of things. So it's there's a lot of stuff going on right now. You guys don't even realize it because we're doing a lot of preparation. We're trying to get to the right time to tell you stuff, but it's been as busy as it's been in 10 years on crap not associated technically with the day-to-day of the website right now. I mean, it's a lot of crap going on.
But I did put up a mailbag this morning.
Yeah, I was going to reference that in a second.
I put up two different stories. Kenny Balboa, AJ Finley, not straight video. I actually transcribed a little, sort of set the video up, if you will, because the video is just them answering questions from reporters. It's not exactly exciting stuff. But there's content there at rebelgrove.com where the price never changes, no matter how much the world does.
Milk, lunch specials, price changes, not rivals.
David Muir would say, the world changes around you every day, but rivals.com stays the same.
So we have a box over here that's fragile.
What it says? Handle with care, fragile. Thank you.
I mean, I am a little curious. I mean, we're going to wait. We'll do it Saturday, but I'm a little curious. Quick scheduling update there. We'll probably tell you this in the show, or we did yesterday. We'll tell you at the beginning. No show tomorrow night because of the Oxford Charger and Chargerette Senior Night. Mr. McCready will be in attendance there.
Yes.
So we'll do a normal 1 o'clock show tomorrow, then not have one tomorrow night, and then we'll be on Saturday. It's the way we will we'll close the week. So that's the schedule for us with that. We'll do the boxes on Saturday. We'll watch some football. Got some different ideas. We'll get that to you again. Still progressing on the merch side of things. More activity on that last night. I think you'll like our kind of our flagship line of products we'll always have available. That really wouldn't even play on Ole Miss. Just the things that we'll always have there for you, and then more. So coming along quite well.
The polos look awesome.
The polos are really good.
Yep.
They are. They are fantastic. They've got our secondary, the little state logo on them. They're good. Nike brand on those as of right now. So Jeffrey will be happy. Wears Nike. He'll be ecstatic. Asking the thread, we think a cookbook from us could sell more copies than Rosie's book. I think we could sell more cookbook copies than Rose Bowl's book.
If we did, we'd be a bestseller in Mississippi.
Put it across the top of everything.
Damn right.
I mean, in bold print. Bestseller. Delta Democrat Times, Book of the Month. No offense to you, lovely people in the Mississippi Delta.
I would say we would get an Oxford Eagle, but we wouldn't.
We wouldn't?
No.
You think so?
You might. I wouldn't.
I don't know. They were mad at both of us there for a little while over the what was that about? It was the court coverage.
Yeah.
It was about the Costiall case.
What's the deal with that, by the way?
I mean, he's awaiting trial, correct? I mean, he's been in jail awaiting trial this whole time, I believe.
Yeah, that's true. I guess the COVID thing sort of backed some of that up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think you're still waiting on that trial and the I forget the last names, the thing with the cop last year. So yeah, I think both those are still in that stand.
Thanks to Webb Moore. He says, Neal, can you give the backstory on Sam Williams that we all hear now since he's been reinstated? Man, I don't know. I don't know that I've heard two different things. So no, I can't. I don't. Nope. I don't know that I feel.
That's not one to touch.
Super about that.
Nope.
I don't. No. Nope. I don't. I hope everybody involved is at peace with whatever did or did not happen, and no charges are being filed. He's been readmitted to the university, and he's back on the football team, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
He also says Bubba and his daddy left us a little speechless. Yes, it's not. He spells it daddy. It's Diddy. D-E-D-D-Y. Diddy. So yeah, little clarification there. AO Reb asking how long after the games the show will go this year. That's a little up to y'all for the most part. We stayed with you until it sort of started winding down a little bit. I don't know that we'll do the 5-hour show like Jay continues to try to do, but we'll be with you a while.
I don't know how Jay. I think the longest he's gone is about 3.5 hours. But the way that he consumes beverages in that
and stays.
Yeah, because like we always try to tape Greatest Pod in the South on Sunday. And I think we finally got it out of Jay this past Sunday. He wakes up in such a fog on Sunday that the thought of hitting the podcast button at 2:00 is intimidating.
Really?
Yeah.
I would feel so bad the next day. I mean, just couldn't.
Yeah, I can't drink like that. I kind of have a natural cutoff in my head that goes, yeah, that's probably enough. One more and you're not going to be happy.
I've told you, I don't handle it well anymore, even compared to 5 years ago. I don't sleep if I have a second drink. I can have one and be fine. Two or definitely three. I get kind of sweaty. I'm not hungover, but I just get kind of sweaty, and I have a hard time going to sleep.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Based on the weekend that I just had, I can't say.
Yeah, I don't sleep well. It completely whatever. Because I mean, I've been strange though. I just haven't drank much at all. I mean, in a while, really most of the calendar year. Michael says we need a full show about trucking. We can do a filler one day.
I wouldn't have to be filler. It would not be filler to me.
Show.
I've done some filler shows, and that's not one. I would be really interested.
Yeah. No, let's set that up. Shoot us an email, whatever you need to do. I've got your number somewhere from the call in that week.
Everybody, please remember to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube page. That's free, cost you nothing. Just hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications if you'd like. Don't if you don't want to, but just hit that button and tell all of your friends and family to hit that button as well. It costs them nothing. There's no obligation, zero, but it does help us. And we are a little ways away from getting to a place where we would be able to put that merchandise right here on the YouTube link where you wouldn't have to hit a bunch of links. You could just
right there on the bottom.
Right there on the bottom.
It'd show you pictures of the merchandise, and you hit the button, and you move on with your day.
Yeah.
So that would be helpful. Seriously. Let's see. Your mailbag, we're getting to a good time of year here because for a while it was all kind of COVID related.
Yep.
It was things along those lines. Not so much right now. It's kind of gotten out of it. The mailbag is made for questions like Deuce McCluster 22 asking, did Rocky force himself on Adrian on the first date of Rocky back in the 1976?
So I did watch the entire 8-minute segment there because it was really the first time that I'd watched it and thought about it from that perspective.
Okay, so which scene is it?
It's the one where they're on a date.
After the ice rink.
Yeah.
They were ice skating.
And he invites her up to his place.
Yeah. Introduces her to Cup and Link and the whole band.
Well, she's just like, I probably need to go. And he keeps pressing the issue. And then when he tells her he wants to kiss her, even if she doesn't kiss him back, he wants to kiss her. She's like, I don't know that I know you well enough. And he just kind of keeps moving in.
Oh, yeah. He does kind of push.
In the end, she appears to
be fine.
It's consensual, but it's forceful. It's not rape by any stretch. Certainly not in that scene, because in that scene we don't see anything other than the two of them kiss. So,
but but their size difference does create an interesting look on
he
screen.
Kind of, when she tries to move, he blocks her in, and at that moment we probably are approaching assault a little bit of confinement issues there. That a little iffy. It's a great question, though. I gave it some legitimate thought.
That scene never gets shot that way today.
Oh, no.
I mean, that was was 44 years ago.
No.
I mean, we've even
you'd get real pushback.
You think
today.
so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No means no, and she says no.
Or at least would be a story, like it would be into the plot somehow, or at least not let go.
Right.
To the extent that it was. What?
ST Weasel says a good salesman doesn't take no for an answer.
Whoa.
Nah, I got to tell you, in today's environment,
any little idea that it is not 100%.
Yeah, I've already begun to lay some of that groundwork with Carson, who's just 13.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've kind of had some conversations about that kind of thing, just in case I'm not around when that time comes. I think the litmus test, the chemistry on the litmus test has changed.
Well, it was like, and it actually was a pretty good teaching tool, but you and I both just in general kind of laughed about it. That thing, that video about the tea or whatever the university would put out a couple years ago. Remember that? About you got to take that class where it's, if you ask for tea, you have to like whatever. And it went on and on and on. It's actually pretty funny. You look it up on YouTube and watch it through, but it goes through consent, and it's teachable and funny at the same time.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. So
he again, the Italian Stallion was not guilty of anything there, but he a little forceful.
Our culture's changed in a lot of ways like that. I mean, even beyond scenes like that not happening today, or at least be written into the story. I mean, and now look, movies are different because, for the longest time, movies were what was the critical thing. That's how, critics, and that was really smart, and it was all movies. Now it's TV shows. It's what can you do in 12 episodes of a season in a TV show. It's what can that documentary be. It's the streaming age. I mean, not to get down like a path about rom-coms, but we've lost the modern rom-com. You don't have the normal rom-com anymore. They've changed into more cultural, societal type topics. It's
Yeah.
not just the slapstick guy, girl, idiot.
Right.
You know, When Harry Met Sally is not getting made today. I mean, that kind of
No.
thing. I mean, it's different.
It's too stereotypical.
Yeah,
It's
we've
too-
lost what at least would have been the modern rom-com at this point. It's a completely different genre. So I don't know how we got here, but whatever. It's usually
Rocky. Got here on Rocky.
Okay. Yeah.
In my mailbag. See? The mailbag creates
It does.
discussion.
It's Mike and Mike for us. Gives us a palate cleanser
There
at the
you go.
beginning of the day, and we'll pick some things, talk about them, move
Yeah.
on. Rocky, the first one still holds up pretty well, honestly. To be 44 years old, it's
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah.
I mean, we've discussed this many times.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I just mean straight from a movie
one
standpoint.
1 through 4 hold up really well.
Oh, that's a good question. Does the boombox scene and Say Anything, is it creepy nowadays?
I don't know that I am familiar.
Really? He's trying to get the girl, and he stands outside her window with the boombox over his head. So he comes in the yard, and he's got like the boombox up. John Cusack.
Yeah.
You've seen the pictures or whatever.
Yeah, no, I've probably seen the movie now that I think about it.
It's like the climactic part of the film is he's.
Yeah, I'd have
I
to.
mean,
I'd have to.
You're
I'd have to
on the
watch it again.
property, and it's probably a little weird, but not. I mean, high school kids can still be high school kids in some dumb ways.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think that's okay.
It'd be hard to be a kid now. It'd be hard to be a boy now.
A lot more rules.
A lot of rules.
And I don't mean that like, break them or whatever. I just mean
no rules.
understanding context, everything.
Well, and just, yeah. I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, I know people in the thread are going to push back, but enter campus date rape in your Google search and read some horror stories. I mean, you're a boy now. You meet a girl at a fraternity party or something. That's where you get her number. It's not where you try to make move number one. It's not. I mean, you just don't know. That's where you get the number, and then you call her the next day.
Yeah, even if all sides or whatever, the fact of if anybody's intoxicated, much easier just go nope.
Oh
nope,
yeah, no,
no.
not easier. It's smarter.
Yeah.
Because on these college campuses, you are guilty until proven innocent.
It's a different world than even 15, 20 years, whatever it was since I've been out.
Different. Yeah, it's you have to. If you have a son and you're not advising him to be uber careful about that kind of thing, you're not doing your job as a parent. Rocky
Balboa is absolutely underrated.
One of the more underrated movies.
Pretty good film.
Actually, a really good movie. You have to suspend believability just a little to believe that a guy his age could fight with the reigning champion of the world. But you do have to then remember that the reigning champion of the world wasn't taking it seriously or you seriously until about 6 rounds in. When he realized that, oh my God.
It's like the basketball game, and suddenly there's 10 minutes left, and you go,
Yeah.
well, okay, we got a deal here.
Ooh, ST Weasel makes a good point.
What's that?
Nice guys have a more level playing field. I actually think I would do better today
In this world
than I did in that world. Because I would have absolutely taken the first no as no. No chance I pursued a second time. 0. No chance.
If anything, probably backed off even too much.
Yeah.
To the point of not even trying to figure out what the no was or how you get around it.
I went into it with the assumption that I had no chance. And so
Neal's shocked when it's a yes. You're like, hold on, what?
Yeah,
whoa.
Any validation of that theory was accepted immediately. Like, I mean, that just.
So if you go, hey, can we go out tomorrow night? You're not the guy to go, what about lunch the next day?
Oh, no.
Or what about the next night?
No.
Have the confidence to go, oh, you're just busy that night. You'll still say yes another day.
I assumed that meant
get the hell away from me.
this is no, and it's an eternal no.
for perpetuity.
Yes. Any future question that you may have would be answered with this exact same no. So save us a lot of trouble.
You hear a lot about relationships where the guy keeps on a couple times, they end up getting married 10 years later. I mean, that's pretty common.
Yeah, I can't even possibly relate to that. I mean, I think people say, "Oh, he persevered. He just." I'm like, I don't know, man. You got to be a glutton for a certain degree of punishment at that point. Or will you hear women say, "I just wanted to make him work"?
Yeah. Well, you're not working, so it's.
We would have never. It would have never happened. I mean, if I even got started on the formulation of the question and the body language was wrong, I just assumed that was a no.
You bailed before even getting to the predicate.
You know what? I was just going to ask you about the weather. It's raining. See ya. I'm out. I will take that to mean that there is absolutely no chance ever, and I will leave you alone.
He says persevering is stalking. Well, no, hold on now. There's some middle ground.
Well, there are some fine lines in there, but
I can remember being persistent a couple times and kind of like, oh, well, you convince yourself that, tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah, no.
Change the scenario a little bit, and it's a little different.
I always assumed that tomorrow would be the exact same day. That it was Groundhog Day.
It's a good question. In our youth, 50% of all relationships started at work, but that's not the case today. Yeah, that's definitely not the case today.
Probably not now. It's on apps, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, I think there's a large age group that I would assume the vast majority of dates happen through services. Dating sites to different extents.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would guess it's significant.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to say, just go to church.
Well,
you'll meet her at church.
Well, that's one theory.
That's what Mildred ascribed to.
Mildred?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's happened plenty of times. Oh, gosh. We'll get to something Ole Miss related in a minute. Probably, maybe not. We might break down Rocky for the next 45 minutes. We'll see what happens after the break. Before we do, I'll tell you about immune support med packs. Pharmacists deliver combinations of vitamins and supplements designed to boost your immune system and lung health. 30-day supply of vitamin C, zinc, NAC, probiotic, and vitamin D3, which work together to boost your immune system, GI regulation, and immune regulation. Pharmacists believe it's the best combination of over-the-counter supplements to prepare your body for a dangerous virus. Stop by Tyson Drugs in Holly Springs, G&M Pharmacy on South Lamar in Oxford, 662-236-2222.
Guess what's back tomorrow?
Neal's Picks.
Neal's Picks.
I tried to put it in the system this morning, and they were not in the system, so I was not able to.
No, I got them in the system. They're in now.
All right.
Captions and everything.
Okay.
Neal's Picks this year brought to you by the College Corner. It's your one-stop Rebel Shop, 2 locations in the Jackson area in Ridgeland. The College Corner is next to Fleet Feet, and in Flowood, it's next to Half Shell. If you don't live in Jackson, it's not a problem. You can visit the College Corner at collegecornerstore.com. Plus, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram. So whether you're tailgating in Oxford, which would be sort of problematic this year, or home gating with friends and family elsewhere, the College Corner has you covered for game day. They have the largest selection of Rebel gear in Central Mississippi, and through the month of October, mention Rebel Grove at checkout. Get 15% off your entire purchase. You can also use it online. Just put Rebel Grove in the coupon tab at checkout at collegecornerstore.com. The Iron Horse Grill is another one of our sponsors. They're based there in Jackson, 320 East Pearl Street in Jackson. It is a perfect place to enjoy lunch, dinner, or Sunday brunch. Live music 4 times per week. Also home to the largest outdoor patio in Jackson right there on the Illinois Central Railroad. Again, the Iron Horse Grill, 320 East Pearl Street in Jackson. We'll bring you some more information about Dead Soxy here in the next couple of days. Just know this. Go to deadsoxy.com, enter the promo code Rebel Grove at checkout, get 30% off the best dress socks you've ever put on, including their 9 new styles of no-shows, which are absolutely awesome. Again, promo code Rebel Grove at deadsoxy.com. We'll also have a Mind on My Money brought to you, I think, later today. We've taped it yesterday. It is brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. Pinnacle Trust based in Madison, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states, advisors in multiple states as well. It's pintrust.com, PINN trust.com. Cookie cutter financial planners are going to put you in a box. Pinnacle Trust builds a box just for you. And if you mention mention that you heard about Pinnacle Trust on the podcast, you'll get 10% off your first year's fees.
So doing a little research on what people inside the age group think about percentage of dating on the app. I'll tell you when I get a couple responses there. Ask some folks. So
Okay.
we'll see what we get in a minute. No, picks is fun. Yeah, we occasionally piss off a quarterback, even things, but it's pretty fun most times.
Who all have we pissed off? Now that we can talk, Houston Nutt thoroughly pissed off.
Well, that would count. Yes, that put us on the map a little bit back in the day. That was a win. Like I said, there was some signs where when Jeff Calkins jumped across the room when he's writing on this today. I went, well, okay. Hey, all publicity is pretty good publicity. We'll do that.
I can remember people saying, "Are you really going to pick games?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why not?"
Oh, there's people in the network that are scared to death of it. Hang on, you're going to pick them to lose occasionally?
Yeah, and I'm like, well, you're covering Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss is going to have some bad years. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be okay. I mean, come on. What's the worst that can happen? Found out quickly.
I get yelled at on a 30-24 loss is what happens. Sean Patterson. Which means Shay, because he's the one that actually took the shot in the press conference or tried to.
Yeah.
Want to know where we were.
It's a shame we left a few minutes
It's
early.
the only time we've ever done that, too.
Yeah.
Just almost makes me wonder, would he have said it had we been standing there?
Probably not. That's sort of how that works. That ended up helping us too. I don't think who else we've made some other people have been frustrated at them. I've had people on the staff jokingly contact me with, "You really think it's going to be that bad?" and stuff like that. I've had people do that. I've had people beg me not to pick them to win.
Pick them not to win?
Yeah. I've had people send me a message and say, "What are you picking this week?" And I'll send back like a ha-ha, and they're like, "Please pick us to lose." And last year I had to say, "Hey, I'm winning." So the whole whatever I picked, the other team's going to win didn't hold up last year. I did okay.
We always do okay. I do wonder if we would do okay if we put real money on it. But for the most part, we finish 60%. And, I mean, that's really good. I mean, for your normal media picker. Throughout a season.
I never got the impression that Freeze was aware of the picks. I never got the impression that Matt Luke cared one way or the other. And I don't think Lane Kiffin would care at all. Zero chance.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
I mean, yes, it was Rocky 2 when Rock was asked about condominiums and said he doesn't use them. That was correct. that was Rocky 2. It's when they were buying they were looking at the house or whatever it was there. Yeah. I think it was weird when he was wearing that sharp leather jacket that had the big tiger on the back of it.
That's fantastic.
And what a yo-yo, he was throwing a ball, or it was a ball he was always throwing around.
Yeah, was always bouncing it.
Yeah, a little rubber racquetball looking thing.
Yeah, off the brick.
Oh, gosh.
Rocky 2 was when he was working in the gym and working the spit bucket and stuff, and people were talking down to him, and he was just trying to be happy-go-lucky because he was trying to keep Adrian happy.
So when we found out he couldn't read.
Yeah, and you found out what just a horrible person Adrian really was.
She gets worse.
She starts off as this innocent little
Meek.
flower.
Yeah.
And then she turns into this raging bitch. And then something clicks in about Rocky 4.
Hang on, what are you blaming her for in Rocky 2?
She was going to make him quit. He damn near knocked out the champion of the world. He came within a second of winning the title. And she wants him to quit and go work for her thug. She wants him to go be a debt collector, for God's sake. Oh, whatever, Rock. I just don't. I don't like that lifestyle. She has to practically die. Mickey sits there the entire time like I'm going to deal with this. You know, Mickey's kind of thinking, you know what? If something happened to her, I might be able to turn him back into a fighter again. But then she comes out and she goes, just do one thing for me. Spoiler alert. Win.
She was in a coma, Neal.
I know, but before the coma, she was just insufferable. And then after that, it took Apollo Creed to get him back going again after Mr. T destroyed him. Just horrible. She's just a horrible, so bad, so meek.
I asked one friend of mine who is in their late 20s and said, what's the percentage on an app versus some other platform or meeting somebody through normal means or whatnot?
Yeah.
85% was the guess. Was 85% of the dates through apps. As somebody who is 22 and said that most people they know is through mutual friends or you met in a bar or something pretty organic. Yeah. However, think that that's kind of the end of that. Think that 23 and up becomes of, hey, let's go out on a date through a Match.com or a Bumble or whatever it is.
So your social media game has to be really strong. Like you're being judged on a headshot and whatever you write in your app thingy, your profile. Like, what the hell would you write in your profile?
But okay. Here's the deal with that.
And I want to get back to this because there was a moment, and it was in Rocky IV, where she yells at him, "You can't win. You can't win."
That was...
I'd be like, okay,
that's when he left, and he left in the car, and they played No Easy Way Out. Was that the song at that point?
Think maybe so.
And because he shifts like 7,000 times when he's driving through the thing, and he's seeing all the flashbacks and all the stuff.
To his credit, when he gets back to the house, he's like, let me explain something to you right now. I'm a fighter. All this shit you have is because of fights that I won.
See, Weasel says no, Adrian actually cared about Rocky. Trying to protect him.
I guess. That wasn't very supportive.
She's a better person than Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny's
That's mentioned in the thread.
Jenny wasn't a good person until she was practically dead.
Well, even it wasn't a good person. Just trying to salvage whatever for the kid.
She did the ultimate horrible thing. She gave birth to his child and didn't tell him for years. That's kind of unforgivable.
That's a big one.
That's think about it, that's big.
Yeah, Adrian had her moments, but she pep talked him in Rocky 3 and actually helped him get into it get back focused on Apollo's training. You know, she kind of yelled at him and went, "No, my God, let's go."
Did. But then she backed off again.
So you want her to be that hard ass the whole time?
Well, she had to know when Drago killed Apollo that Rocky was going to fight him. She had to know. So at that point, why are you doing anything like saying you can't win?
Yeah, Donald Spears says too. Adrian coached up Rocky in 3. Yeah, 3 is actually her best performance from a supportive standpoint because she gets him through Mickey. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Gives him the big pep talk at the end. I mean, she's pretty good at Rocky 3.
Rocky...
Because, I mean, that's kind of what pissed him off. I mean, Clubber kind of hit on her a little bit, had the little thing.
Saying we want to see what a real man is and all that stuff. Yeah. And she was kind of hot in Rocky 3. And then she fell back off.
Mixed up.
And then she kind of fell back off.
Okay. What else is Talia Shire in? What do we know her from?
I don't know.
Oh, that would actually be a really good hand raise, guys. Men and women, give us your horrible online dating stories.
That would be a fantastic show. A Thursday night show.
I just want Tinder and Match.com stories. That's what I want.
The hay is in the barn from a football standpoint. We're going to talk about it Saturday. There's no reason to continue to berate this game. It's done. Let's do that show. That would be a fantastic show.
You got to be honest in your profile enough. You got to put yourself in the best light possible, but you've got to be honest. Because, I mean,
I would be afraid that I would really undersell. Like I would make it where...
No, you can't do that. It's got to be rose-colored. It's got to be true, but rose-colored glasses.
So true, but accentuated.
Look, yeah.
So what do you do about your picture? Do you find your very best picture, or do you go like...
No, you got to find your best one. Yeah. Because anything less, and you're not giving yourself
what if that's
enough.
Your very best picture, and then when she or he sees you and you don't look as good as that picture, there's an initial real life disappointment? Or is it based on the fact that by the time you all do that
you're going to at least get half an hour to prove yourself at that point.
They know you enough to be at least intrigued with.
I've never been on one. I have no idea like the level of like I know that was it Bumble where the female has to ask the guy out, but otherwise I don't really understand a lot of. Yeah, I think Neal would put his Peloton stats in his bio. That's.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be good at this at all.
You don't think that's the age you need to be in?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I would do particularly well. I'm just keeping it real.
85%. It means that's what you got to do. I mean that means, and your percentage is so low of anything at all.
Is it swipe right if they're not interested, or swipe left if they are?
Well, that's Tinder, but I'm thinking about things a little more reputable than that.
Yeah.
I'm not going down the. I mean, we watched Jeffrey do the Tinder thing that night in Dallas when the poor girl from TCU was the only TCU person on the bus. It was all Ole Miss people, half drunk, and then it was Jeffrey.
Half.
Because TCU brought no media, so it was just us. Like we went into the hospitality room and they're like, "Hey guys, can y'all drink this?" We're like, "Sure, why not?" Because the Chick-fil-A bowl had bought all this alcohol, and they're like,
TCU people brought nothing. They're like, please drink.
Yeah, we got to have somebody drink this stuff.
Remember that woman? You would have like a beer or a glass of wine, and it was 2/3 full still, and she's coming to fill it up, and you're like, honey, I appreciate it, but I'm okay. But yeah, Jeffrey was doing Tinder in the bus, and that girl was very upset.
She was horrified because he's commenting and he's being Jeffrey.
It was rough,
and it was
drunk Jeffrey.
We were going to the go-kart races.
Yeah.
And
we got kicked out of there.
We did. Yeah. They put us they gave us an arcade and a go-kart track for the night. Well, more awkward, and you weren't on this. The next morning we got on the elevator and it was just me, Jeffrey, I, and the TCU girl on the elevator the next morning, and she did not want to see us. She wanted us so far away from that elevator at that point that yes, it was.
One person, I know people want us to stop, so we'll get into football.
Frankly, there's not a ton today.
There's a lot of content on the side if you want to read football. There's a lot there. Someone says you talk for like a night online before you jump into a date, maybe FaceTime too.
Oh, so you actually can do the FaceTime thing before. Okay. Well, that brings a whole other element into it now.
So before you do anything where you meet in person, you feel like there's a reason to do this.
You and I are, for a living, we communicate. We're at least above average writers. Would that give us an advantage in the online dating world because so much of the early part of it is through written communication?
Probably.
I would think so.
My distaste for grammatical mistakes, just natural, would also make me probably be more picky than you would think. I'd be like, she can't spell.
And it'd be it.
Well, it'd be a negative.
You'd be rating the typos. Is that one I can live with? Is that one I can't live with?
Yeah. If she was just butchering there, and there,
you're done.
I can't.
Somebody said, Big Ben says in thread, writing's way easier. My text is like an 8 or 9. My oratory's a 4. Okay.
Yeah, I can see that. I do much better writing than I do talking.
Because you also can just, hey, how do I respond? Take a breath. Right. What are we saying?
Right.
How are you with R and the U separate letters? Yeah.
That'd be a warning sign.
Yeah.
It really would. Be a warning sign.
I don't know. 85%. Yeah.
Or like multiple exclamation points would be a warning sign. I'm so excited to see you! Exclamation. 4 of them. Whoa. Hold up.
He says most women are the opposite. They short text but then open up in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we... I don't know.
Ben Leslie says, my niece got kicked out of Bible school. Hard to beat that. How did she get kicked out of Bible school? It's not very forgiving.
I don't know. Did you watch that... Did you watch that thing going across the internet of John Chris, whatever his name is, the Chick-fil-A thing
I
yesterday?
never could get it to play.
Oh, you couldn't? It was really funny. You ought to give it time. He's going through all the applications and rating names and schools and the whole deal. It's really, really funny. Has no idea what to do with BYU because he's Mormon. He goes. Anyway, yeah, let's do that one night. We'll do a show based off some of that stuff. Frankly, we don't do enough of that, kind of giving a topic and going, hey, call in with the topic. I mean, that's radio 101, but we don't necessarily go down that road. So I don't know.
So what do you think of this NCAA tournament idea that the ACC coaches are floating on behalf of the NCAA?
It's stupid.
Thank
I hate
you.
It's stupid.
I hate it.
Are people celebrating it?
Oh, you didn't see Pat 40? Like, oh, this is great. Wow.
Why? Why is it? Well,
the bracket's even bigger.
Well, doesn't it kill conference tournaments?
Yeah.
Who?
I'm like, so wait a minute.
The SEC is going to go, we have these games.
Well, okay. There's a lot to get to if we want to really wreck the mood of our show, so I'll be careful here. Does anyone really believe? I don't. The presidential race will be over by then. Thank God.
Oh, Leif says getting kicked out of Vacation Bible School the same way Crash got kicked out of a game.
Oh. Can't say that word. Not in Bible school.
That'll kick you kicked out of a lot of places. All right, go ahead.
Wow.
I kind of need a setup here. Like, what happened?
How'd we get there? Yeah.
Go ahead.
That is the funniest, one of the funniest scenes in Bull Durham, where she goes, "Oh, he must have called him up."
And I went, "Oh,
yeah. All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, before you do that, because we're gonna get down a tangent for a second.
Right.
I just have a hunch. We'll tell you about Community Mortgage. You can find out more by giving Jason a call at 662-234-2704. It's JLOWE at communitymtg.com. They're located in Oxford, Memphis, Soto County, and Chattanooga. They're a leader in condo financing in Oxford and all underwriting and processing done in Memphis. They're getting local underwriting that understands your market. You also get the float down option, so you can lock in the current rate, but if rates go down before you close, they just give you the lower rate. Again, 662-234-2704.
We are also brought to you by John Edwards of Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. Thinking about a trip this fall. A lot of rates are out there. A lot of deals are out there domestically, internationally. If you're thinking about planning something for the holidays, thinking about planning a blowout for next summer, get in touch with John. He knows where all the deals are. He's got 4 decades of experience. He also is part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits that are simply not available to other travelers. You just give him a call, give him an email, give him some parameters, give him a budget, and he'll book the vacation of your dreams. He'll give you deals that you can't find on your own. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients can save $50 off their first booked trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast. We're also brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, look no further than Grenada Nissan. They've got a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles, great lease deals as well. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. And the podcast is brought to you by Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB has a commercial checking account. Now pays 1% interest as long as you keep $10,000 in the account. Comes with fully interactive online banking. And to learn more about that, all you got to do is go to liveoxfordbankoxford.com or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured.
So, okay, the setup is that it starts conference tournament week, and literally every Division I school would be involved.
So it's like 356-ish. So
why?
So here's my thing.
No, hold on. Why? What is the reason?
The real reason?
Well,
it makes the tournament bigger, more TV money.
Forget that. But what's the reason they're saying?
That's basically what they're saying.
Well, then do it every year. What's the reason?
Well, the reasoning they're giving is that because the season won't be able to start until much later because of COVID, which I'm starting to think is utter, forgive me here, BS, man. No reason the season can't be played. If the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can play a football game in an empty Superdome, you can play a basketball game. Anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. They're saying there won't be any non-league stuff. There won't be as much metrics to judge on, so just let everyone in. Everyone gets to hang a banner. Because we've all been through so much together that we should celebrate this because we're all in this
These
together.
wouldn't count as tournament appearances.
It's technically the tournament, so if you're in the tournament, you're in the tournament.
Go ahead.
You're either in the
Go
tournament
ahead.
or you're not in the tournament.
Go ahead.
But why is it that it's not safe to have conference tournaments, even though those teams just got through playing each other all year? But it's safe to have Lehigh play UCLA?
This is giving me a migraine already.
It's really dumb.
The ACC decided on this? They don't want to play their normal tournament that makes a ton of money for the league?
Apparently they did this on the behest of the NCAA.
The NCAA just wants more games and more money.
Of
This
course.
is not complicated,
Exactly.
especially when they're furloughing the whole damn place right
So
now.
here's my question. Does anybody really think, based on the numbers that are out there today, based on all of the trends that are out there today, does anybody really think, and before anybody comes back with, hey, this one kid died, does anybody really think that the majority of logical, rational Americans are going to still be willing to be held hostage by COVID in March of 2021? Does anyone believe that?
I mean, I don't, so yeah.
Well, Robert says, yes, there are stupid people out there. That's not what I'm asking, though. There will always be outliers. I'm talking about the majority who's sort of reluctantly marching to the beat right now because we have no choice. Does anyone really think that by March, when the election's over and we're through this stuff and people are like, okay, enough. You can't tell me that we aren't going to be able to have a conference tournament. Why? But if you can't have conference tournaments, how the hell are you going to have an NCAA tournament? Because the whole point of the bubble is that you have a bubble setting is you've got to get the people in the bubble for a couple of weeks to quarantine before they can start playing. That way you get the bubble safe.
Sure. This is not actually passing, right?
Dude. If you told me we would be doing, if you had told me that given today's numbers, we would say that the Saints and Bucks aren't going to allow fans in the stands in New Orleans on Sunday,
I get it.
I would have said, you're out of your mind.
Real quick, 30-second aside here, because I don't want to get back on the topic. We're talking basketball. We'll stick there. I followed up on one of the people I mentioned and said, would being a really competent writer help? Does that, from a male talking to a female, so
Yeah.
would that help? They said, I think anyone that doesn't send an unsolicited off the top has an advantage. And I said, hold on, how often does that actually happen?
Yeah.
Quote, I'm an expert here 8 out of 10 times.
Okay.
I said, you can't be serious. And they said,
Time
no,
out.
dead serious.
Time out. I might actually do so much better today than I would have done back then. Because there is a 0% chance that I would ever think, you know what she'd really like to see right now? She would really like to see a picture of my junk
But Neal,
sent to her unsolicited.
There was no reason for an exaggeration there. 8 out of 10?
Oh, I believe her. But, okay, here, someone's got to help me here. No matter how proud or not proud of your thing that you are, you do in the back of your mind have to think to yourself, right? Unless she asks to see it, don't you have to assume that she does not want to see it? Certainly not in a photographic sort of a way.
What it means is you're weeding through such a large percentage of people that have no interest in the actual app. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's using that. Hey, this is how I'm gonna meet my wife one day. Like, come on, like.
Yeah, it's a hookup thing.
Yeah, except
but even if your goal is to hook up, I would guess that's not how you would advance your chances. How many times when you were dating did the girl say, "Hey, what I'd like to see first is a picture of your"?
She said she could go very in depth here. I don't think I want it. I think I'm good. I've got enough.
Yeah, I mean. Big Ben says, because sadly it works enough to reinforce
Seriously?
the behavior. If you send 10 girls a pic and one with you, you win. Webmore says it's all about the numbers. I got to tell you, that's a level of weird that I never got to that place.
Well, yeah, I'm lost.
Yeah, Webb says, but you'll get low quality.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I got to think that the one who goes, yep, that's what I was waiting for, that's not really a place you want to be.
I looked it up a minute ago.
Speaking of viruses, you know what I mean?
I looked up a minute ago, by the way, Talia Shire's other credit, Godfather Part 2.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Duh. So there's that.
Let's be careful
because she's the
Coppola
here. Family.
But we didn't go here yesterday. Sammy brings up Odell Beckham as we get close to the NFL opening its season. Did you see the rumors about Odell Beckham?
I clicked the thread and I refused to click the post. Like I refused to.
You're aware of the.
No, I don't. I don't know what he said. I know he said something about whatever, but I don't know what it was.
That he.
You need to type it to me. I mean, I don't
know that he. No, I'm not gonna do that. That he has a liking for women performing a certain bodily function on him.
Oh, okay.
Playing in the right town for that, Cleveland.
Okay.
Surely not, right? No way.
No. Whew, okay.
Yeah.
All right, basketball.
I just don't. As for basketball, I just think I think if we can't have normal tournaments, conference tournaments by March, we can't have anything. And if we can't have a normal conference tournament by March, I'll need medication because I'm approaching my wit's end, as you probably saw on Twitter last night.
I did. What made you jump in last night?
Because he's wrong.
Okay, that was all.
He's selfish. He loves James Thomas, loves to act like he's looking out for the betterment of everyone else. When in reality, and I don't know why people can't see this now. I really don't. The numbers are there now. David Muir got me started at 5:30 last night. People say, why do you turn to it? Because sometimes I want to see what it is that the average lemming is seeing each night. And he wins the network ratings wars.
Okay.
And it's, welcome into ABC World News Tonight. Tonight, rising cases all over the country. Spikes in cases on college campuses. This picture from a lake near Indiana University, alarming university officials. Okay. So here's what I know about college kids. As a father of a 19-year-old and a father of a 17-year-old, kids that age, when we were that age, we liked to hang out with kids that age. Fair?
Yeah.
I mean, listen in. Tell me where I'm wrong. Kids today, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids would like to spend all of their time with other 19, 20, and 21-year-old kids. It's college. They would rather not spend time with adults and older people. They'd rather hang out with their peers. Future kids in college will be the same way. You've got them on campuses, and you've got these numbers now from all of these schools, from Alabama to Akron to Dayton to Arizona State, and all points in between, where they've put the numbers in a graph, and it's 30-some-odd thousand cases of positive COVID test on these campuses.
Okay.
Alarming. None of them are in hospitals. So why would you not, unless you are one of these people who refuses to acknowledge herd immunity, and at that point I'm just done talking to you. We're no longer going to be able to communicate. Why would you not want the college kids to stay amongst themselves and spread it amongst themselves and recover amongst themselves? And by the way, they're recovering without even knowing they're recovering. Why would you not want that to happen, where by the time that the semester ends and they all go about their own ways back to their respective towns, from Jackson to Birmingham to New Orleans to Nashville and all points in between, why would you not want them to go ahead and get over it, be immune to it, and not have it at Thanksgiving when they sit down with Nana?
Oh, there's huge issues to sending kids home back into their communities.
So the only
no
reason that you would advocate sending the kids home back to their communities right now is because you're scared. You're scared. And if you're scared, stay home. Stay home. Go on strike.
I was waiting on that one.
Stay home. But this whole, no, we have to get rid of them for safety. The campus isn't safe. The campus is fine. All of the damn classes are online anyway. JM says, because what if someone dies in their dorm? The numbers don't support that at all. If a kid dies of flu at a college campus, are we going to shut the campus down?
Yeah, I don't know how there'd be any liability over a statistical minority situation.
Well, when you have 0 hospitalizations out of 38,000 or whatever it is, that is a statistic that has some validity to it.
Sure.
It's 0%. And if it ended up being 1 out of 38,000, that would be very unfortunate, but it's still statistically very, very small. Not enough. Are we going to shut our society down over that low a level of risk? Because if we are, we have to really reevaluate a lot of the things that we do as a society. A lot of things, starting with driving cars.
You think basketball starts, though, December 1, right?
I mean, I know a handful of college coaches. My daughter, I'm letting her know that I'm on the podcast.
Sure, you're fine.
They all right now start, and this is before anybody goes, oh, he knows 2 or 3. No, I know more than that. They all think November 26th. They think that the schools are waiting for the kids to go home for Thanksgiving.
Okay. Yeah, because everybody kind of keeps forgetting that, because we've kind of gotten into school, and at least for now, there is, even though it's abnormal, there is a normalcy to it. Nobody's coming back after Thanksgiving. That's ending the semester everywhere.
Right.
So,
they don't go, they don't go back until the middle of January.
Yeah, right.
So you sort of have a 2-month campus bubble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
The part that bothers me is when we say we got to get these kids out of here. You're scared of a campus, but you'll go to Kroger? What's a more controlled environment? Ole Miss or Kroger? Ole Miss
for sure.
Or Walmart?
Yeah, of course.
It's disingenuous at best. So I called him on it. I don't care. I wasn't the only one. Richard Cross did it before I did. Richard was pretty emphatic.
He was.
Because Richard's wife runs a business on the square. And I haven't talked to Richard about this, but I'm guessing that business has been made more difficult. I'm guessing that Richard's wife hates to have to think about laying people off. my guess. I haven't discussed this with Richard. We're friends, but we haven't had this conversation.
Of course.
You know, you're a merchant. You're a merchant. You want to do well. You want to provide for your family. I mean, I talked to someone today. I'll tell you who it was. I mean, I don't think he minds. We're talking about rafters. I said, what do you normally get on a Friday of a football weekend? He's like, well, you have fire codes and stuff that Hudson Chadwick, he said, we have fire codes and stuff that limit how many people you can have in there, but we're full. But right now, you're limited to this small percentage, and everyone must be seated.
Yeah.
Because we all know that if you stand up, the virus gets you right away. But if you sit down, it doesn't. That makes no sense, Chase. There's no science behind that. If the establishment is too dangerous to stand in, then it's too dangerous to sit in. And where are we getting these numbers? 20%, 25%, 40%, 25%. Where do the numbers come from? What are they based on?
They did rule yesterday on football game weekends, bars and restaurants remain open until 11. That was decided by the Board of Aldermen last night.
Good.
So that moved one more hour there into the evening.
So these campuses.
Yeah.
If the kids get caught at a bar, are they in trouble? Or can they go to the bar until close, and then if they end up at an after party somewhere at somebody's house, now they get suspended? And how does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. They tabled the idea of potentially leasing parking spots to get outdoor dining. By the way, too, did see that. Although I don't know where that stands. Just kind of think that was a couple things that came.
They have some outdoor space there. I think he was seeking some clarity on how that works. Just you get a town like Oxford and what's going to happen to it economically over the next few months, and it's sad. And this isn't worst case. But, we're not going to have – this would have been – today's Thursday. No, today's Wednesday. Tomorrow would have been the first Thursday of a football weekend in town.
Yes.
And it would have been happening.
Yeah.
And as it stands, Oxford's not really happening. And there's a financial impact to that. I mean, there's a lot of people that say, hey, this time next year, these towns are going to look different and not in a good way. That's what bothers me. What bothers me is that no one in the media seems to be willing to say it's possible, just maybe, that this has turned into a case-demic. That it's possible that maybe, just maybe, the models were all wrong. That it's possible that the way that the deaths were counted and the way that things were done, some of the models were wrong. Thank God they were wrong. And so instead of doubling down and tripling down and quadrupling down, why don't we start to do what's best for now?
Mm-hmm.
That's what bothers me.
I feel like you could use that Johnny Cochran video in the mailbag every week to some question. There's some question there every week where I think you could pull it out and it would be perfectly fine. Anyway, somebody asked this earlier, just not quite ready to announce exact plans for game weekends yet. We're getting close. We're not far away from letting you know what's up next, but that's not there yet. Again, a lot of stuff going on this week to try to iron out some of those things. So anyway, just a little bit there. Reading through your mailbag, reading through the stream as we are closing up. Yeah, basketball. Look, I'm praying that doesn't happen, that it's not the case. I'm not ruling anything out at this point, but come on. This is stupid.
Yeah.
And it not being shown as the transparent thing it is what's even more bothersome to me. Let's quit acting like, you need money.
It's a money grab.
Yeah, you need money.
Yeah.
That's what the answer
is. It's a 350-team tournament. That's my problem, is you can't be the organization that says we're terrified of COVID and then say we're going to have a 300.
We're going to bring everybody in, actually.
We're going to have a 356-team tournament.
Yeah.
Where literally every program around the country gets in, including at schools that can't afford to have anything resembling the kind of testing you're talking about. Makes no sense. But the SEC can test and test and test and test and test and play, but then they can't have a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, I'm open to someone explaining to me why. But if you've tested all those players and coaches and teams, why not let them have a tournament?
Yeah. Because they already played each other anyway. What's the difference?
Well, and according to Kermit Davis and other SEC coaches, it's very likely, no one's announced this yet, but I think it's what the coaches are preparing for. It's very likely that not only are they going to play each other, they're going to play each other this year more than they've ever played each other. That it won't be an 18-game conference season. It'll be bigger than that. That it's going to be absolutely, if they let fans in, it's going to be great for fans.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to get to see Kentucky and Tennessee and Auburn, and hell, you might see Kentucky twice.
Random NFL thought as we're closing here. Looking at Bill Barnwell, he's got the odds of every NFL team to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I'm not getting into this tomorrow. We have time. It is nice to have an actual competition in the AFC East. He has the Buffalo Bills as the favorite in the East. I said, you know what? Okay. Like, it's kind of nice to not just go, hey, that one division is done right here and it's over.
I have the Patriots third.
Do you?
Yeah.
His top 10 for most likely to win the Super Bowl. We'll go a little more in depth tomorrow, but just 10-1. Patriots 10, Seahawks 9, Bills 8, Eagles 7,
Bears 6,
Buccaneers 6.
Bears 5.
I think that's too high, but anyway. Cowboys 5,
Bears 4,
49ers 4,
Bears 3,
Saints 3,
Bears 2,
Ravens 2.
Oh, wow, he picked the Chicago Bears twice.
Yes. And the Kansas City Chiefs back
Mitch
at number
Trubisky, everybody.
salary cap hell, but that's what the Chicago Bears are in. So anyway,
Should be a fun game tomorrow night.
oh yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
It'll be
night.
different because you're so used to Arrowhead being crazy.
Yeah, that's environment wise. It's why I think I'm picking the Texans to cover. Weird game,
Yeah.
opener, no preseason.
Yeah. Texans are good.
Yeah, so just thought there. All right, appreciate everybody in the stream today. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, 1 o'clock show tomorrow, nothing tomorrow night, and then we'll catch you back up on Saturday for a game weekend episode of, I don't know, whatever we're going to call it as things move forward. Hand raise, guys, for now. So,
I will tell you real quick, if you look at my mailbag, it's brought to you by Whitney McNutt of Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors. Whitney's there to serve you for all your real estate needs in Oxford and Tupelo, and you can reach her. She sells condos, land, commercial, and residential family homes. You can reach her at 662-567-2573 or 662-842-3844.
back tomorrow. Thank you as always. Take care.